Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? What a DeLorean? Yeah. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
It's in the hole! It's in the hole! What has best been like? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of your women.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit.
Nobody can pay you.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Michael. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. It is November 12th, 2023. 11122023. Ooh. So 1 + 1 is 2, plus 4 is 1 + 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. Okay. So 2 times 0 is 0. 2 + 3 is 5. There you go, Math Geeks. Figure that one out in a weird sort of way. Joining me as always, Brother Ray. What's up, Ray?
Yeah, that's too much for me to think about this early.
I know. I can do it.
I can't compute all those numbers. It's tough.
It's the math geek within me. So, Brother Ray, just really quickly, behind us, you can see right now, I'll be attending that today at, well, it starts at 12. I'll probably get there like around 2 to 5. What is Festival of Trees. It's for the Providence Animal Shelter. I mean, dogs. Like November, we're helping out dogs. And in December, it's to help kids out. We're going to do the Adopt a Family and try to help when they don't have enough money for Christmas. And hopefully if we win any of them damn trees, right, we can just take those trees and give them to the people in December.
Nice. Like it.
Always thinking. But it's today at 2. It's today at 12 o'clock, Roger Williams Park Casino. There will be face painting, which I'm going to try to get done, but I guarantee they won't do me. Like they won't let me get done. And Santa will be there, which I want to try to get a picture with Santa, but I guarantee that guy's not going to let me within a foot of him. And then the raffle. So it's going to be a good time. Good time for all. First of all, how you been?
Good. Just getting used to the cold. Cold's back. We're officially into pre-winter. So, yeah, just trying to adjust to that. But nice day today. It looks nice out there. It's still a little cold, though.
You know what's great about this show? This show is like right now, legitpodcast.com, and our social media handle is legit podcast, and then you spell out DOTCOM. Spell it out is our name. It's our slogan. All that's going on. Atkins tumblers. It keeps the hot stuff hot, the cold stuff cold. What else do you want from a tumbler? That's what I gave them. Ray, their tumblers are about this big, right? They make them. This couple makes them. They're the best tumblers I've ever seen, right? Because this is like a tiny tumbler right here, right? I'm talking about it's got to be about that much bigger, and they make them for you. So mine says King Michael, all this stuff. I left mine with somebody when I was at Block Island. I got to get it back, but it is phenomenal. For real, it is.
Nice.
We're gonna go over the games, see if we come together on any that we can call locks. I don't know if you've looked at the schedule of games, what you think of them so far. But some are good, some are bad. Like this Colts Patriots game, I expect the Patriots to slug it out the whole time, don't you?
Yeah, I mean they're always in it, and I think Belichick is always good for an overseas game. I mean he kind of knows how to wrangle the cats and make sure everybody's kind of under control. So he's usually good in those types of environments.
Hey, how do you feel about the rumor that I've started about how Bill is gonna quit this year with the Patriots and come over to New York?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that today. I think it's definitely going to happen. I think they're going to have to work something to buy him out of his contract because they just signed him over the summer to a lot of money. So, but I think Kraft's ready to do it. I don't think money's going to be an object. I think they'll find a way to get him out of the contract because I think it's going to be the best for all parties. I think Bill would love to break Shula's record as the coach of the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah, he would love to come there and win one last time where he started. Does that mean I want to see Dayball go? A little bit right now. I mean, because there's been games the Giants have lost because of coaching. Like I can legitimately say there's been a couple of games the Giants have lost, 4th and 1 here, 5th and the other, coaching. So, but then Joe Shane would have to go. I don't think Bill's going to work with Joe Shane. You think he'd work with Joe Shane as the GM?
He's gonna clean house. I mean, Bill's gonna kind of bring in who he wants to bring in, and he'll get a lot of takers. I mean, there'll be a lot of people that'll jump in. Josh McDaniels, though, might come back, so just be ready for that. That could be something that's going to happen.
Man, we called him with the Raiders. We have always said he can't head coach. I mean, I think we've said that every time we talk about him. But the way he left the Raiders, I don't even know. There were so many different stories about it. I didn't even want to read them all, to be honest. But none of them were good for him. None of them paid him in a good light. None.
I have a lot of respect for the owner. I didn't think he had it in him, but he did it the right way. Fired him on Halloween, and I think it was the statement that he made when Pierce was talking about when the Giants beat the Patriots, and he was trying to rally the troops. And McDaniels went to him afterwards and said, "Don't ever talk about the Patriots like that again." That was a dead giveaway, folks. He's still loyal to the Patriots.
Yeah.
And this is the Raiders. Like, they have their own culture, their own franchise. Get all those Patriot schmucks out of there.
Yeah, it's like they want you to buy into Bill Belichick's system at a different place. It's like, no, this is of all teams too, this is the Raiders.
Right.
Like, get them back to being the Raiders. You know what I mean? Just that's who they are. It's just I hate teams when they go away from their who I think they are. All right, Ray, let's start the games off.
Go.
Cleveland goes to Baltimore. Baltimore is favored by 6.5. The over-under is 38. You go first on this. What do you think?
I think Baltimore is one of the best teams in football right now. I think their offense is coming together. I think what Keaton Mitchell did last week should scare the crap out of everybody. Edwards is already having a good year. Watson, if he can stay healthy, with that defense, which is the best defense in football right now. I love the fact it's under 7. They're at home. I'm taking Baltimore, giving 6.5, and I'm going to go with the under.
All right. So here's the way I looked at this game. I thought, wait a minute. Baltimore is one of the hottest teams in the league. They won like 4 in a row or something like that, right? They're just starting to click. And I'm telling you, Odell will have a big game today. Odell will make his mark in this game. I've watched the build with him over the last couple of weeks. Today's the day he scores. I got him in my lineup just for that one reason.
He scored last week, too.
I know, but today is the day he will score. Odell is picking up steam. He's going to have that late season run that he's done before. I know him. Secondly, I still don't think Cleveland's that good. I keep saying that too, but I guess I'm wrong. But I think Baltimore at home, so they already get the 3. So we're saying they're only a 3.5-point favorite. I'll take that any day of the week. It's under a touchdown. I'm staying with Baltimore. All right. Houston goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati is at home. They're favored by 6. The over-under is 47. I'll go first with this one. So I don't know what to make of Houston. I don't know if Houston can stay in games, you know what I mean, every week, or what to make of them. And I don't know what to make of Cincinnati in the sense that how good is Cincinnati? Like I'm trying to put my finger on it, but I'd still go with Cincinnati at home -6. I guess just because. I mean, I can't get a handle on these two teams, right? I'm serious. Like I don't know how good one is, and I don't know how bad one is, if that makes sense. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think Houston is a team on the rise. I think your defense is still lagging behind, and I think that's the difference in this game. I think Cincinnati, they have a lot of injuries. I mean, Chase is going to play, but he's nowhere near 100%. T. Higgins is out. Trent Irwin's probably going to get a lot of snaps for the Bengals, and Boyd will be a focus. But I just like the way the Bengals are playing right now. I love that defense. And let's be honest, they handled the Bills. They really handled the Buffalo Bills. So Houston made a great comeback. I mean, CJ Stroud, I've been talking about him all year. I have him in every single fantasy league I think that I have, except one. He's rookie of the year. They're on the rise. They're going to be great. But I think after last week's heroics, I think this is the spot to take Cincinnati, given the 6 at home. Their defense is quietly top 5.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. I have the KC defense in our fantasy corrupted league, and I had to fill in for them last week because they were playing the Dolphins. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, well, I can pick up Cincinnati, but they're playing the Bills. And I'm thinking, you know what, Cincinnati do better against the Bills. I think like, I could have won either way, but now I have both those defenses, and I'm thinking they both the Chiefs defense and the Cincy defense are good defenses. Cincy, they beat up Buffalo. Don't make no mistake, they hit. All right. San Francisco goes to Jacksonville. This seems to be like a big NFC game for the 49ers, like a big NFC game and a big AFC game for Jacksonville. 49ers are -3 at Jacksonville. Over under is 45. To me, this is like it's not as some people may call it a Super Bowl preview. I don't, but they're two teams that are going to be in the hunt. Let's give it that. So, what do you think of this game?
Yeah, I think San Francisco hasn't been playing well lately. I think, let's be honest, they, they're coming off a bye, so you got to kind of like the fact that they're going to, Shanahan will have some type of game plan coming out of the bye. They are at Jacksonville. I don't really see the home field advantage there, but I mean, Jacksonville has all the weapons. It's another defense that has been sneaky this year. They've played well in spurts against good teams. I like Jacksonville getting 3 at home, though. I think San Francisco could win this by 30. But if I had to bet this game, I would take the 3 with Jacksonville at home, and I'd go under 45.
All right, so I hate to sound like I'm agreeing with you so far, but here's how I see this. I don't like teams coming off the bye. I don't. I don't like teams coming off the bye. I would love to know the win percentage of coming off the bye, because it always seems like they come off the bye and they just kind of fall flat. Like they do. And secondly, Travis Etienne, Ray, is phenomenal. He's becoming that beast of a back. I love the way they play him in Jacksonville. Seriously, he is such a great play for me. I like Jacksonville at home. I think they beat the 49ers today. I just think Jacksonville wins at home. So I'm gonna, and as far as the over under, two great defenses, but then again, two offenses that could get going. They scored 20 each. I'd probably say the over. That's the only thing I disagree with you on, but I am taking Jacksonville. All right. New Orleans goes to Minnesota. New Orleans is favored by 3. Over under is 40.5. I'll go first. I don't like either of these teams. I don't like them. Minnesota, I'm still going to take Minnesota, though. I'm still going to take New Orleans because the quarterback for Minnesota is
Joshua Dobbs.
And have we seen enough of him this year? I think so. I've seen enough of Joshua Dobbs. I've heard his story now 3 or 4 times. I like New Orleans to win in Minnesota because Joshua Dobbs does what he does in the second game. He makes mistakes. Your thoughts? I'm taking New Orleans.
Completely polar opposite. I actually like Joshua Dobbs a lot. I think he was on a really bad Arizona team for most of the year, and he actually played well being on such a bad team. I love the fact that Minnesota is getting points at home. Their defense has really stepped up and is playing next level right now. They do have injuries. Jefferson's not back. Hawkinson's a little bit banged up. They lost Akers for the year. I love them at home getting 2.5. And I disagree. I think Joshua Dobbs is a great DFS play today. I have him in a lineup. He can run the ball. He can score rushing touchdowns. The guy finds a way to win. He won a game last week with basically 4 days of practice and a new offense. So for me, Minnesota's a lock today. I love them as a money line bet.
And I say be very wary of it because he's Joshua Dobbs. All right, we split that one. That's good. Green Bay goes to Pittsburgh. Boy, this is an old school matchup. Pittsburgh's at home, favored by 3.5, with another very low over under of 38.5. I think this is me first. Is it me or you? Wait, you, me. No, this is you. You're first.
This game, I don't think I'd touch this game with a 5-foot pole. I'm being honest. I will not have a single parlay with any of these teams in it. They're talking Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You don't know who's going to show up week to week. Pickett just doesn't look good. I mean, we talked about, before the show about quarterbacks and not being good in this league. He's just bad. I mean, he just isn't good. Like, you feel bad. I mean, he's a young kid. He's, all this potential. Just looks bad. And on the other side, Love hasn't looked that good either. I mean, they're both up and down. I'm going to go with Green Bay getting to 3 on the road at Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be tough. It could go either way. Pittsburgh could win this by 30. I'll go with Green Bay getting to 3, and I'm going to go with the over.
See, I agree with Green Bay. I am also going with Green Bay, but let me tell you why. First off, Pickett has those little tiny hands, right? And if you don't think that plays a case in how he throws the ball and how the ball comes out of his little hands, like what was he tested as like one of the smallest hands for a quarterback ever at the combine? Like his hands.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, and that is a thing. Don't get me wrong. That is a thing at the combine.
And that is an actual problem for quarterbacks. Like you need a big hand to be able to hold the ball. Like this is a little kid's ball, but like if my hand could only hold it here, or it'd be here. Some quarterbacks have to hold it just here because their hand's too small. So the best they can do to grip it is what? The back. The more like Marino you can get to the middle of the ball, the more you control everything you throw. Right? It's like whatever. That's why I don't like him. And then Jordan Love.
Cold weather. You got to be able to wrap more hand around the ball.
Yeah. And he's in Pittsburgh. But then Jordan Love is a disappointment for 3 quarters and then shows flashes in 1 quarter. Like he gets me just enough fantasy points in 1 quarter play while I have to watch him do nothing for 3 quarters. So the verdict's still out on him. I don't know what the deal is with him. Like why he has to warm up and have a quarter and then whatever. But it's like he loves the 2-minute drill, if that makes any sense. But I'm going to go Green Bay because I think they will beat Pittsburgh. How about Najee Harris?
Ugh.
What's the?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody realizes that he's not the best running back on that team right now. Warren's the better running back, but you have so much invested in him. He's just, I don't know. And I think it could be. I think it's that offense. They have Canada. They added him. They got rid of the offensive coordinator last year. But it's worse. Their offense is worse. I don't know how it could be, but it is. And Tomlin needs to fix that.
Yeah, I just feel like he's a disappointment, that kid. But
complete disappointment. Yeah.
Maybe he turned around. Last 1 o'clock game would be Tennessee going to Tampa. Tampa's favored by 2.5 at home. Another low over under of 39.5. This would be me. Boy, that's a tough one because I don't like Tampa Bay, but they can score points and play well in spurts. But then again, Tennessee is one of those boring, rough teams in my book that can make games ugly. So if I'm going to go ugly versus Baker Mayfield, I'm going to take Tennessee plus 2.5. But because it's plus 2.5, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take Tampa Bay at home, given less than 3. I think Levis had that one game. I mean, he played okay last week. He had 230, no interceptions, which is good. But they're really banged up. They're really banged up. I mean, Tampa Bay's defense hasn't been that good, but they'll stop the run. They can't stop the pass, but they'll stop the run. And I think against Tennessee, if you can stop the run, you're going to win the ball game. And Tampa Bay is good against the run. So I'm going to take them, given less than 3 at home. Baker's been playing tough. I mean, he's come back. They should have won the game last week with a last, late minute comeback, but Stroud outdueled him. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay here. I don't think Levis is going to keep up, especially with the injuries that they have. I like Tampa Bay here, and I'm going to go with the over.
All right. So all those reasons I can see Tampa Bay winning. However, and I'm not wishing this upon him, even though I dislike him tremendously. I keep thinking Baker Mayfield is like one more play away from getting hurt because he extends plays sometimes in ways where I don't think he should because he doesn't have the legs that he thinks he does. Does that make sense? You know, you ever see like a quarterback try to outrun a defensive end to the corner and then just get miserably knocked backwards? I mean, I could talk about Eli all day long, but you can't get around the corner. But whatever. So on the 1:00 games, here's where we agree. Baltimore, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, and Green Bay. Right?
Yeah.
All right. I want to do this with you too quick because we're going to have extra time here. I was going to get your help on this, see how we do on this. So right here, Ray, this is a mock draft simulator. We're going to do the Giants. And it's going to be a 7-round one. Now, they're going to be picking from the spot where they would be right now if the season were to end. Because I want to get your opinion on what happens here. Ready? Now, do you want me to pause it immediately to consider trades? Or do you want me to let it go?
Now, let's just go with what you think they're going to pick. Because trades, it's going to change from here to the end.
Caleb Williams goes to Chicago, number 1. Marvin Harrison goes to the Cardinals. And then they take Drake May. Now, the Green Bay Packers offered us for the 4th pick, the number 7 and number 47. I don't want that because I want Fashanu. What are your thoughts on that? I think, look, they keep drafting tackles and it doesn't work out, right? However, this kid is unbelievable. What? No sacks. He's only like 8 pressures. He usually just blocks people to death. If you put him at right tackle and you kick Evan Neal in, and then you have the center Schmitz with Andrew Thomas on the left tackle, now maybe you're building a line. You get a free agent guard that's good, that's not over the hill, that can play, and then you would see what happens. But what do you think? They're sitting here with the 2 top quarterbacks going, and all these other players are on the board. I would go with Fashion.
I mean, I like him. I think at 4, that may be a little. I mean, he is the best, and offensive tackles, left tackles do go top 5 if they're really good. I think with the 2 quarterbacks off the board, and then obviously Harrison, who's a generational talent, they could trade down in that scenario.
But we can't right now, so we got to make the pick.
So I would say they would probably, based on need, they would definitely take him.
All right. So with the draft Fashion, let's see what comes up. They get 2 second-round picks coming up next, and it is on fast speed, so we don't have to worry about it. Kool-Aid McKinstry just went to the Broncos.
Wow,
that's the best name in the world. Let's see. When are the Dolphins draft? 20 what? What would they be, like 20?
Oh, we don't know. Hopefully they're in the 20s.
No, I'm just saying right now they'd be in the 20. Where they've got 27, right? They have a mock draft taking Amarius Mims, offensive tackle of Georgia.
Yeah, again, they need with all the injuries they've had this year, it's really hurt them, their depth.
All right. So one offer for our pick at 35. The 39th pick and the 74th pick, but they want the 100s back. Right. I say no because here's where I get funky. Michael Phoenix Jr.
I mean, I watched the game yesterday.
Shedeur Sanders, and Bo Nix. All 3 quarterbacks that I would look at. Sanders I would, but Penix Jr., if he's there in the second round.
He's really good. He's really, really good. I mean, he threw a ball yesterday. I was actually watching it late Saturday night. I was down in Boston visiting Jake, and he threw a ball. It just dropped in the bucket, 50 yards, flick of the wrist. I know he plays at Washington, and they don't get the hype that a lot of the SEC schools get, but I think they have to at that point.
Yeah, right. I mean, in other words, if he works out and beats Daniel out, fantastic. But like second round pick, I think you got to take him in this spot. You got to, because Daniel's there's so much going on with him. You got
Slight edge over Nix. I give him a slight edge over Nix, but Nix is another guy. If he goes,
right. I like Shador Sanders. I like that kid's moxie. Sanders is a guy that I like. I really do.
He can throw it too. He can spin it, but there's potentially 5 quarterbacks that could be taken in the first round this year easily.
So Penix right here, though, right?
Yeah, and I think when it's all said and done, I think he's going to be, he's going to be in the top 20 picks.
Yeah, I think he'll be a move to the first round. But right now, if he's there in the second round, the Giants not take a tackle than the quarterback in the second round.
I think a lot of those guys are going to move up. I think there's just too much of a need for quarterbacks, and people overdraft quarterbacks.
And offensive tackles. All right, there's a second round pick that we got from the Seahawks. Now, Ray, we need a defensive tackle, and there's 3 on the board. In Leonard Taylor from Miami, Mason Smith from LSU, and Byron Murphy from Texas. What do you think?
I mean, they're all studs there. I actually like Hall. I do like Hall from Ohio State.
Michael Hall Jr.?
Yeah.
But I think the Giants, by the Giants' track record, would draft Leonard Taylor out of Miami.
But let's keep in mind here, if Bill comes over, and they very well could clean house this year in New York. So
I get it. I
wouldn't go based on history. We don't know who's taking over, and if it's Bill, he's going to be looking at SEC. So he's going to be looking at LSU. He'll be looking, it could be the LSU kid because he has connections there. But
we're making the pick. Who do you think, Leonard Taylor or Mason Smith? I'll let you pick.
I would take Hall, but if I'm going to pick between Taylor and Smith, I would probably take Taylor.
All right, because Hall is listed at number 62 overall, so there's a chance he might make it all the way to the 3rd round. Here we go, coming up on the 3rd round. Giants pick at 5. Ray, he's still on the board. See, now Hall is still on the board. Jalen Ford's ahead of him with Trey Benson, the running back. We have the 69th pick, and Arizona was offering the 72nd, and no way. All right, Ray. Now, do you take Hall?
Yeah. Oh, if Hall's there, I take him. Yeah. Now you got 2 bookend defensive tackles.
With sexy Dexter Lawrence. Right? You put those 3 on in the 4-3?
Yeah. 4-3. Dexter in the 3-4 could play nose if he needed to. Yep. Or he could play the 3. You want guys that can play the 3 technique if you're going to, mess around with a 3-4. Again, we don't know if it's Bill, they're going to play 3-4. They'll be 4-3, 3-4 hybrid. So, yeah.
All right. Here we are on the 4th round, Ray. I'm not taking any of this. Here's who's on the board in their big board. Braylon Allen, running back, Wisconsin. Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker, Texas A&M. Johnny Wilson, who I think they would take care of. They would either take Johnny Wilson or James Williams, the safety out of Florida. Xavier McKinney is going to be gone. They're going to have a need at safety, a big-time need. However, Johnny Wilson, isn't he like 6'4"?
Yeah, he's long.
And we need that. But we might pick up one. I think they would take James Williams, the safety. The Giants don't address receivers like they do safeties. They need a safety, and they always seem to come up in the second round. They got McKinney that way. They got what's his name before him that was from the U. Another good safety we had. Forget his name, but they usually take safeties here. What would you do?
Yeah, I really think the Giants. I think for wide receiver, I think they may go free agent. Because they do have Hyatt that they know they're going to develop.
And Wan'Dale Robinson.
They took Wan'Dale, who they drafted. So I think they'll probably target someone like a Higgins or a Mike Williams, who both contracts are both up. And those would be 2 good fits. Higgins would be ideal.
Yep.
But Williams could be another person that they really need. They need someone on the outside, a big body that can dominate and really play that X position. They really don't have that X receiver yet. And I know they want Hyatt to be that, but he's not that yet. So I think they would go in another direction besides wide receiver. I probably would say.
Then safety would be. It's a big need.
I mean, safety is a big need. I mean, but Cooper's there too. And that's, I mean, he can really,
where would he fit in though with Micah McFadden and Bobby Okereke?
I mean, he'll be an outside guy. He'll definitely be an outside guy. Like he has that versatility. He can play any wide linebacker position. And
is
that's
he a difference maker?
Oh yeah. I mean, again, he's at A&M, but he's someone that he's got the speed. He's a thumper. He's someone that can play coverage. So I would go with Cooper here.
All right, Cooper. So now I'll just wait this out. We get to 3 more rounds. I think it's fun when it goes by the Dolphins just to see who this mocks your team selecting. The Jets in the 4th round take Jaden Hicks, safety, Washington State. See what the Dolphins do. You got to be feeling good about the Dolphins this year. You just got to hope they can.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with everything they've done. I was happy with the game last week. I mean, game they very easily could have won against a really good team. So
Giants are up. You got Blake Corum, running back, Michigan. You got Junior Coaston, linebacker, Michigan. You get Jamari Thrash, wide receiver, Louisville. There's a couple tight ends in there, and then a cornerback, Johnny Dixon. We're going to be losing to Dory Jackson, so I know we need cornerbacks. I know we need safeties, and I'm still not happy with the running back situation that's going to be behind Barkley. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they might go corner here.
Johnny
that's
Dixon?
just the way NFL teams are. Like you need corners every year, and you have to have a fresh, just for special teams purposes too. So I think they'll go corner here.
Johnny Dixon or Kyrie Jackson?
I'd probably go Dixon. You look at the way that defense has been playing this year.
How long is Dixon height-wise?
I mean, he's average size. He's not going to give you that edge there. He's not like a shutdown bump and run.
Deontay Banks is a beast, by the way.
I mean, it depends what their defense is going to be. Again, we don't know who's going to be there. If it's Bill, well, Bill has a certain, type that he's looking for.
Great. Thomas Hopper from Notre Dame, the safety. The Dolphins took in the 5th.
Well, I mean, I like their back 7 now, but their safety.
And they just took Jalen Simpson, cornerback, Auburn. All right, the Giants are up. Ray, up there's a two linebackers, both named Jacobs, Curtis Jacobs and Justin Jacobs. Then you got a center, Drake Nugent, and another one, Bo Limmer. You think any one of those guys could play guard?
I think they take Nugent, only because of his versatility. I think they would take Nugent. I think. Yep.
No, because they need doesn't matter if he plays center in college. Can he move over to guard?
No, he can play in the interior, anywhere on the interior.
All right, we're going to the last round, and then we get to review it really quick before we do the 4 o'clock. There's not many games today, so I wanted to fill this with getting your insight on how the draft would break down for the Giants. Ray Davis, running back, Kentucky. Ray, in the 6th round goes to the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a good late round pick.
I don't know if the Giants are we still in the 7th round? We might have traded away our 7th round pick, to be honest. I think we traded the 7th round pick for somebody good. Yeah, I don't think we ever did draft in the 2nd and 7th. This goes up to 219 because there's no compensatory picks yet. Nope, it goes higher than that. Wait, Dolphins take in the 7th round LaMills Brooks, another safety, Georgia Tech. And then comes out.
Needs that great. I mean, that's usually like a special teams play. I don't know if the need's that great for that many picks and safety.
So,
I'd like to see them get some more tight ends.
Yeah, no, I hear that. That's a bit too many safeties. But all right, here's who we drafted, Ray. Tell me what you think about our draft. We got Fashanu in the 1st round to play tackle, right? Picked up Michael Penix Jr. as a quarterback in the 2nd round. Leonard Taylor, and Michael Hall Jr., defensive tackles. Edrin Cooper, linebacker. Johnny Dixon in the late rounds play cornerback. And then our last pick was Drake Nugent to be one of our guards. You think these guys would make an impact?
Yeah, I mean, you're coming out there with a bookend left tackle. Like, he's the type of player, you put him with what's his face on the other side, Thomas on the other side. Now you have bookend tackles. You have bookend tackles. And then, yeah, I mean, after that, I mean, that helps you in the run game as well. But you're going to get a starter for like 10 years at least. That's the one thing when you're drafting offensive tackles like that.
Well, not true in the sense that Evan Neal has been nothing but a disappointment and just awful. He looks awful. He's hurt again. He was drafted with Kayvon in that when we had 2 picks in the first like 8 or 9 picks. Evan Neal has been such a bust. It's been ridiculous. Like, their goal was to draft, like you just said, a bookend tackle to go against Thomas, and then the line would be better. And they did try to do that, but the kid stinks. So I think they need to do it again.
But see, Neal wasn't really a bookend tackle. Neal played different positions on the line, and they were projecting him, to be more of a tackle. Whereas, like Hamanu, he's a bookend left tackle. Like,
he's a beast.
There's no question that's where he's going. That's where he's played. That's where he's going to live. Neal kind of was like a tweener for like an offensive lineman. Like, they were going to project him there. And as we see, it didn't work.
You know what I hate is when they interview the offensive linemen for the Giants and they're very intelligent. I don't like that. I would rather have the dumber bully, like those guys. I want those guys on my offensive line. You know what I mean? The guys that I used to run away from in the 80s. That's the guys I want playing offensive line. All right. So the Giants go to Dallas. Ray, this is my lock of the week, actually. Dallas is favored by 17.5 with an over-under of 38.5. Now, I know the Giants cover this spread. I do. Because the Giants' defense is going to be a lot more difficult for the Cowboys this come around. They will. Kayvon's starting to heat up. Leonard Williams or not, doesn't matter. I'm telling you. Deontay Banks has become such a beast of a corner. That's why I'm worried we're going to start winning games. However, 2 words, Tommy DeVito. Okay. They're saying here that with Barkley and all them, the Giants can't stay within 17.5. Now, have you seen, how many plays have you seen where Jalen Hyatt has about 10 yards on everybody and he has to kind of come back for the ball? Like, almost every game, he goes right by a cornerback and he's open by 10 yards. My prediction is Tommy DeVito throws 1 bomb, catches him, and the Giants stay within 17.5. Even Saquon scores. Like, I don't like the over-under 38.5. I think he's going to go over that. And I don't want to bet the Giants. They're horrible. This is one of the worst Giants teams that I've seen ever. Statistically, ever. And I'm a Giants fan for like 90 years here. Ever. So, but I'm still going to say that they stay within an embarrassing 17.5 point spread. They just do. It'll be like, I don't know, 31-17. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I think Dallas covers this. Like you said, this is the worst Giants team that I've seen. And I used to watch the Giants before you were born when Joe Pisarcik was their quarterback. And it was a weekly disgrace because they were on every week.
You can't say that I picked the team because I was like a bandwagon jumper because Giants.
No, they were bad. They were really, really bad. But
I remember having the footy pajamas. You had the Dolphins. I had
but
the
they're
Giants.
really bad now, and
They're just as bad. They're actually worse because they have more talent. That's what's killing me. There's such talent on the team, and it's coaching, Ray. That's why I'm telling you, Dayball is not as safe as he thinks he is. But
they made the Raiders look like a playoff team last week, and the Raiders are not a playoff team. And they made a rookie quarterback come in and look halfway decent. Unfortunately, I would never bet this game. I think the Giants do have a chance to cover, But if I had to bet it, I would bet Dallas, and I would giving 17.5. Like, that just boggles your mind that you're saying that you would take a team giving 17.5 points to another bunch of professionals that are getting paid. This is like a bad college line. This is like Alabama versus the Sisters of the Poor.
This like, but shut up, you. But to keep it real, in week one, the Giants lost. What was the score? Why can I not find it? They lost by more than that. What was the score? Gosh darn it! The Giants lost to Dallas at home to open the season in a blowout. It was like a blowout. I don't know if you remember it. Like, the Giants had a decent drive, and then everything went to shit when it was 40-0. The Cowboys beat the Giants week 1. 40-0. Yeah, see, Kyle just put it up. Look. And I'm over here going, but I still think, and I can't shake me on this, because I feel like it's divisional. They're gonna stay within 17 and a half. You know what? If they don't stay within 17.5 points, right? Dayball should go. He's got to go at the end of the season. I don't care if he's coach of the year last year. I don't care if he's a genius. He's not. If they lose, if they fall to 2-7, and they don't cover the spread of 17.5, that's 2 touchdowns, both with 2-point conversions, and still a field goal to win. That's ridiculous. You're right. For a pro team, they should be embarrassed. Forget about it. All right, Ray. Atlanta goes to Arizona. Atlanta is favored by 2.5. Arizona still without the other guy with little hands, and the over-under is 43.5. Who do you like?
Kyler Murray is supposed to play today.
Oh, he is. All right.
That's what I've heard. I'll check that now, unless they I believe he is going to start today, and this is one of my locks of the day. This is definitely a lock for me. Love Arizona at home, getting 2 with Kyler Murray and James Conner back in the lineup. Okay.
If he's back in the lineup, which I'm still trying to check on, that to me is a slam dunk, because I don't like Atlanta in general. I don't think they're that good. What do you think of Bijan? Honestly,
he's playing for one of the worst coaches in the league. That coach is an absolute disgrace. They don't give him the ball. He had 1 fumble, and then they didn't give him the ball again. He's just on a bad team. I mean, the team doesn't use Kyle Pitts. It doesn't use Bijan Robinson. It drafts players in the top 5 picks in the first round, and it doesn't. And the team doesn't play them. He's one of the worst coaches in the league, in my opinion. And I just feel bad for Bijan, to be honest with you.
He's just another running back, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, is he going to get going? Would they not give him the ball enough? Did they not put him in the right place?
Today could be the day, because he's not happy with last week. He's very angry, not only with himself, but with what transpired last week. I think Bijan could definitely have a bounce back game. The Cardinals are bad against the run. So this could be the game where he rights himself. But I love Ari. I love Arizona at home getting 2. And I'm going with the over here. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like Arizona in this if Kyler Murray's back. I mean, because if he's back in the game and he's playing, that's like a 4 to 7 point boost. It's got to be, right? He's Kyler Murray. I mean, he's not great, but he's much better than anything they've had for all season. And you're right, Atlanta stinks. And the over-under is kind of low for this game, because there's going to be some points on the board. So I'm going to go with Arizona and the over. All right. Detroit goes to the Chargers. Detroit is favored by 3. Chargers are at home. The over-under is 48.5. I'll right away say I like the Chargers at home getting 3. So Detroit is one of the better teams, but there's something flimsy about them that I'm waiting to see crack. And I'm being serious. There's something about the Detroit team that I can't buy 100% into. Not that I'm buying into the Chargers, but I think the Chargers win at home against Detroit. And the over-under, I'm going to go under 48.5. right?
Yeah, I mean, I look at this game. This is another game I don't think I would touch. I mean, it's
Yeah, it is a close
these
one.
teams that go like both up and down. You don't know who's going to show up. The Chargers getting 3 at home is interesting, though. I will say home field doesn't really mean anything to the Chargers. I've been to one of their home games. It's nothing special. You know, it's LA fans.
Transit.
I'm gonna go with Detroit though, given the 3. I think their defense is much better. They're gonna get Montgomery back, so their running back stable is healthy. I think I just I think this is gonna be a letdown because the
This is
Chargers
easy.
played.
I'm sorry, Ray. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Eric just asked us a very easy question, in my opinion. Kyler Murray or Howell? Well, I think if you want fantasy points, you go with Kyler Murray. If you want to try to get in on the sack record, go with Howell.
I like Howell. I mean, I'm not going to say I like Howell over Kyler right now, but I like Howell as a fantasy quarterback. I mean, he had 300 against the pass last week. He went ballistic the week before. He's getting the ball out of his hands quickly. So I think he's somebody you want to pick up. I just think Kyler may have more rushing yardage this week. It's tough. I mean, to be safe, you probably go with Howell because you know what you're going to get against Seattle. But I would probably take Kyler because I think he's going to explode this week, and we know what he can do rushing the football. Howell can get sneaky rushing yardage as well, so it's a tough one. I would probably go with Kyler though.
I would go with Kyler, and I'll tell you why. Howell is on pace to break Carr's sack record. That's not good. It's not good for his health. It's not good for long term with him. It's not good for like starting him. Like that would bother me that he's on pace to break Carr's sack record. You don't want to break that record. That's that one record you don't want to be part of. And Howell gets sacked a lot. But either way, all right, Ray. We were talking about Detroit and the Chargers. You like Detroit, and I like the Chargers. Correct?
Yes.
All right. Let me hit you with this one then. The Commies from Washington, D.C. traveled to Washington State to play Seattle. Seattle is -6. What do you over under is 44.5? What do you think of this game? Before you do though, Ray, one more reminder, guys. Today I am going to the Providence Animal Care and Control Center Festival of Trees. We're taking $20 donations. It gets 25 tickets. It's just to help the dogs, honestly, not be euthanized. And then if we win any of the trees, which are like these gift card trees, we are going to take those trees to December and give them to families in need. So if you're interested, contact me here, legit podcast, DOTCOM @gmail.com. Okay, Ray, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Commies at Seattle. Seattle is -6.
Yeah, I think Seattle just kind of ran into a buzzsaw last week. They didn't look good. They just were all out of sync. Their defense has been really good fantasy wise, but they give up a lot of yards. I mean, they gave up a lot of yards last week to the Ravens. So they're at home. It's 6. I'm going to take Washington only because I think Howell has been playing a lot better. They've been getting the ball out of his hands quicker. Because as you said, he has received a historic amount of sacks, but the offense just seems more in sync. They're getting the ball to Dotson that I really like. They're running the ball. I'm going to take them getting the 6. Seattle really hasn't impressed me. But this is a tough one as well. I mean, these teams are inconsistent. I'll take the 6 at Seattle, and I'm going to go with the under.
See, I'm agreeing on this for different reasons. I'm taking the Commies because I think they'll keep this game ugly and close. That's the kind of game this is. It'll be it's going to be a game that's won by 6 or 3, something like that. So I'm either going to push or I'm going to win by taking the Commies. Seattle though, Charbonnet's quickly moving up the pecking order. He out-touched what's his name last week. I can't wait till they let that kid run. Like, I can't wait till they let that kid run. You know what I mean? Because he's good, and they get. That's a team that's got a bevy of running backs. You know what I mean? You compare that to other teams with like Buffalo. How did Buffalo not grab Jonathan Taylor or Saquon Barkley? Like, here's 2 things that I got words of wisdom from Uncle Robert. 1, the Buffalo Bills, if they had a running back, like Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, they might win the Super Bowl. And 2, he hopes that Tommy DeVito does good today for the Giants because it'd be awfully nice for an Italian kid to have a good game of football. That's literally what those are words of wisdom from Uncle Robert. And he's probably right, like, just for the Italians. But, yeah, I like the commies. Let's go to the Jets tonight at the Raiders. The Jets are -1. The over-under is 36.5. Couple things here quick. Larry posted a meme that I couldn't stop laughing at. I don't know if you saw it, but it was Zach Wilson cologne for those nights when you don't want to score. Oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing at that one. It was great. It was like Stetson, but it was like Zach Wilson cologne for those nights when you don't want to score. I still like the Jets in this game. I think the Raiders stink. They just beat up on one of the worst teams in the NFL last week, for real. And the Jets defense is good. They're not going to let the Raiders do just march up and down like they did on the Giants. It's an ugly game. I'm sticking with the Jets, hoping for them. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. Just run the ball. Try to get in your receiver's hands, screens. Do what you got to do, but just stay in there. The defense should keep them in this game. Hopefully with a win. What do you think?
After seeing the last game against the Chargers, I don't think I can take the Jets for the remainder of the year. I don't think I can even consider it.
I know.
He just looks so pathetic at quarterback. And it negates all the other talent, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. It doesn't matter because he's just that bad. And the Chargers defense has not been world beaters. They've been okay, but they made them look like the 85 Bears. I went against the Chargers defense in a league last week. I was up by 20 going into that game. I lost the week. I lost the week in with a minute left on a fumble recovery that actually should have been for a touchdown if the idiot didn't step out of bounds. I cannot go with the Jets anymore. I'm going to go with the Raiders love train at home, getting one. And I like it as a money line bet, to be honest with you. I like the Raiders in this game. Until Wilson shows me otherwise, I'm going to put as much money against him as possible.
All right. So we disagree on that one. I bet a lot of people disagree with me on that one, but I still think the Jets are going to beat the Raiders. I just think the Raiders stink too. I think the Raiders stink. They stink. So do the Jets, but I think the Jets are a little bit better. All right. Broncos Monday night versus the Bills. I didn't like that it went to 7.5. It's at 7.5 right now. Went over under 46.5. I don't trust Buffalo right now to win by 7 or more than 7. They could. So I'm still taking Buffalo after all is going to be said and done. Because there is that chance the Buffalo could just score and beat them by 14, right? That could be easy, but I'm hoping for that. What Buffalo has shown me so far is that they don't know who they are. They don't know what it is they exactly want to do on offense. They don't know what is he going to throw deep, throw over the middle? Are they running it? What are they doing? You know what I mean? It's just but all right, I'm still going to take him because I think Denver stinks, and I think Russ Wilson is one of the worst people to ever play quarterback. He's just a goof. I don't like him. What do you think, Ray?
I mean, I would have to take Buffalo too, given 7.5. I think Buffalo would be really good in a tease if you can put them in a tease and lower that number even more. Buffalo, though, they need a new offensive coordinator because they could have Jonathan Taylor. They could have Walter Payton. They're not going to give him the ball. It doesn't matter who they have because they're not going to give him the football. Or they're going to bring someone else in, some other, third string running back on third down. It doesn't matter. They don't commit to the run. They're not committed to the run. They feel like they need to give Josh Allen the keys and let him be a one-man band. And until that happens, they will never win a Super Bowl. They will never win a Super Bowl. This offensive coordinator has to go. And I'm sure they're looking at that right now.
Dayball could go back. And Belichick can move in.
It doesn't matter who they'd have at running back. If they're not going to give him the ball, it doesn't matter. And Buffalo right now, they're rudderless. I'll be honest with you. I'm taking them in this game, but I don't know if I'd be that confident, with them winning the game at this point.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I still think they should. I can't.
Well, they should. Absolutely, they should.
Because they should. win this game by more than that. You know what
They
I mean?
should.
What I'm doing right now is I'm typing out our agreed locks. Tommies and Bills. All right. Bang. This is what we agreed upon. These are our locks for the day. Baltimore, Cincy, Jacksonville, Green Bay, Arizona, Washington, and Buffalo. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 picks, right? 7 picks. I think if you put $100 on each one of those games, we'll probably hit 5. I think there's a good chance we hit at least 5 of that 7. At least. Because some of those teams, I think, got a real good chance. Like, I think some of those are real good spreads. Now, what would be your upset of the day, though? Like what? Even if you picked against them, what would be your upset of the day that you could see happen? Just even though you didn't really pick it.
I mean, I think I have a number of money line bets today that I like. I like Green Bay. They're getting 3. I like Minnesota. Getting 2.5 at home. I also like Arizona getting 2 at home. I think with Kyler Murray, I think they're sleeping. I think the odds makers are sleeping on that one. I really think, and I know this is kind of impossible, but this Giants Cowboys, if I had to pick a real bomber,
yes, and I'm
I
agreeing
would
with
pick,
you.
I would pick the Giants today.
I was about to say that. If I was going to do 2 bombers, right, I would do Houston and the Giants. I just want to see what that will pay. Hold on, I'm looking at it right now. Like
That would
those
be
two,
that's a bomber.
but that's not a bomber that I can't see, like, no chance of happening just because of the teams involved. So
because you're looking at quarterbacks now, you're looking at left tackles, and you know what the Giants are going to be like? Oh, so you're looking at a top 5 pick? Here's how we take care of that today.
Yep. So all right, that if you put $100 on that 2-team parlay, you would win $3,930. So if you bet $10, you'll win almost $400, $393 for $10. For $5, right? You want to be cheap about it? You win almost $200, $196.50 for a $5 bet.
2 teams.
Yeah, that's it. All right, who do you got for fantasy standouts?
Fantasy standouts. Kyler Murray. I know we talked about him. I think, he's coming back. You can get him pretty cheap on DFS. Actually, he's a little bit more expensive than you would think. So that tells me he's going to pop today. I love Joshua Dobbs. I think you can still get him cheap. For him to come in and do what he did, basically in less than 3 quarters last week, was amazing. I think he's going to keep it going with Minnesota. I think they're going to be a playoff team. Running back, I like Bijan as a bounce back. And I like James Cook today. This week, Denver, very bad against the run. Worst team in the league. I think this is the bounce back for James Cook. I think he's going to bounce back and have at least a touchdown, rushing and receiving yardage as well. I love Keaton Mitchell. I know he's questionable. I think he's going to play today. You saw what this kid can do last week. He is the best running back on that team. It's only a matter of time. Edwards, he does what he does, but this kid screams upside. Another person I like today, as far as wide receiver, I like Marquise Brown. I think once you put Murray back in there, Marquise Brown now is a legitimate number 1, and you're going to see him have a good day. I also like the rookie from Cincinnati, Isovius, the kid from Princeton. He's a hepathlete, really athletic. He's got 2 sneaky touchdowns this year, I think, or 2 or 3. I think he's going to get more run today without Higgins. I think he's a sneaky play. Tight end, I love Dalton Schultz. Without Nico Collins, Schultz moves up the list. He's going to have a great day. And I love Luke Musgrave for the Packers. I think he's going to start to take over that offense. And, Love keeps going to him. This kid has, unbelievable upside. So those are the kind of the guys I'm looking at today.
So I'm watching this game here. It's ending. It's 2 minutes and 38 seconds left. It's a 10-6 game, a classic overseas boring game. It's a horrible game, ugly game. It really is. As far as football, though, here's my last question for you. Tommy DeVito, how much does he throw coming out of the gate? How would you handle Tommy DeVito today? Because me personally, I would let him hand it off to Barkley on the first play, and then I'd let him throw it deep, get his arm. Or do you think he'd throw it to short and get one completion under his belt? How do you play Tommy DeVito today against the Cowboys?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. You're going to basically run the ball. You're going to protect this kid. You're going to be in max protection all day. They're going to be in max protect all day. Why would you put this kid at risk? Because Dallas, that's what they want. So I think you're going to see max protect. They're going to run the ball. They're going to throw the ball to Barkley. Barkley's going to be a target hog. I mean, Dallas knows that, but I think he'll take some shots. I think he's going to take some deep shots because they're at the point now where they need to see what they have with Hyatt. They need to see what they have with some of these other players. But I think Bellinger is going to have a big day today.
Oh, yeah, he'll have a great game today.
They're going to pepper him a lot because they need to have some quick passes. They need, and out of that max protect where you're playing two tight ends. So
and Wandale.
I mean, I think they need to be safe today and not put this kid at risk and get him he could get killed on the football field.
Well, you know what's funny is the Giants, the only way they win is their defense comes alive, right? And they make points off of defense. And Tommy just keeps handing the ball off to Saquon, and they just squeak out of Dallas. Just get out of there with like a 17-14 win. Just whatever you got to do, just get in, get out, and leave. Because you're right. If they have him drop back, Micah Parsons will be like having a long conversation with them on the ground. You know what I mean? He's going to knock him down quick. And I don't want to see Tommy DeVito get killed. I don't want to see Jacob Eason come in or Matt Barkley. That's who they went and signed as backups. Jacob, my dad was Tony Eason. And Matt, I know the system because of Dayball Barkley. That's what they went and picked up, Ray. I really think the Giants are tanking. If Tommy DeVito in there.
I agree. But if they lose this game badly, I think Dayball's gone.
If Cowboys cover 17.5, Monday you'll see me with my Fire Dayball shirt. Like, I'm being serious. You don't lose to a division team by 17.5 when they're favored by it. You show some pride and stay in the goddamn game. Lose by a touchdown, for crap's sake. All right, Ray. Well, again, I'll be at the Festival of Trees around 2:00. I think it starts now, but it's till 5. Then I'll be back in time to do Legit Paranormal tonight at 7:05. We got a lot of things going on. I got the Legit Podcast toque. Well, they call it a hat, beanie, whatever. We got the pullover jacket, got shirts. I got to get you one of these, right? Because you are on Legit Podcast.
Yeah, I did. I definitely want to get my hands on those.
Really good material. And then we got to talk to the Tumblr guy, the Tumblers, the Atkins people. Oh, those Tumblers are phenomenal. Once you see them, they're so big, right? They're like gigantically big. All right, I'm going to wrap it up like this. Guys, again, Baltimore, Cincy, Jacksonville, Green Bay, Arizona, Washington, and Buffalo. Those are the locks. For Brother Ray, it's me, Mike Lepre, King Mike Hill. This is Legit Fantasy Football, brought to you by LegitPodcast.com. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you've watched all the way to the end. I should have said that earlier on in the video, but I keep forgetting. Please help us out. And we'll see you again at 7:05 with Legit